Hey everyone, Sly47 here. Tiermaker month is starting, and there are so many more of you than there were last year, so let's do a little bit of refresh for the new people, and also I've got some updates for the people who have been there in the past. So let's go over it. Rankings are not S through F like many other tier makers. I instead opt for a more of a meta, competitive, niche, playable, and needs fixing for the main tier 10 tier makers. Now let me explain each category. Meta, these are ships that define the current play. Now, you might not always be seeing them, but when they are on the field, they dominate the field. They have very rare circumstances where they are not wanted on a team, and particularly will make sure to just decimate other ships of their exact same class, or even other classes within them, because they are just that good. They have very few problems, and because of that, they are within the absolute meta of this overarching game with World of Warships Blitz. Competitive, these are basically meta ships that have a few issues here and there. Maybe they're a little bit more niche on that side, but their niche is so strong and wanted specifically. I always like to take the Austin that kind of creeps out of niche while it is a very niche ship itself because of the DD meta in tier 10 right now. Yeah, its niche is incredibly strong and makes it just basically wanted on every single game on your team to absolutely decimate those DDs. Now, niche itself is actually going to be getting a little change up. I'll be talking about that later, but niche category is for those ships that they have a particular thing. They have this particular set of tools in their kit that make them really good at times. Not all the time. Not all the time. So yeah, they have their situations where they're very much wanted on a team, and then they have other times where sometimes very much a liability. Next up, we have playable. These ships are just okay. They are playable. They work. Overall, typically, they're kind of more of the solid ships. You'll typically see them in a game, and you're like, hey, I would have liked a meta or competitive ship, but I'll take a playable. I'll take it. And then needs fixing, of course. I don't think it needs any description at all because, well, yeah, it needs some changes. I would highly suggest staying away from it. And so many people over this Tiermaker season will probably agree with that some of these ships, yeah, they're needing some buffs. They're needing some changes, definitely. Now, you might see a tricked version of a ship. What that means is that this ship is camoed, legendary commandered, or leg modded. Basically, they have a particular thing that's needed that all of a sudden transcends that ship out of one category into another. We actually have removed a good amount of tricked ships because this year, you kind of don't even need it at that point. But at the same time, if you have it, maybe it's a quality of life buff. It definitely helps out. There's a few ships, though, that basically they need those extra things in order to become the ship that really you want on your team. So notice that tricked is there for the extra stuff that you might add there, and we'll make sure to talk about what is required when we are discussing those ships. Next up, Premium Tiermaker. Those rankings are War Crime, Great to Buy, Good to Buy, Niche, Playable, and Collector's Bin. We do this because, yeah, there's some ships that are absolutely horrendous and are super powerful within the premiums, and everything else pretty much then it's go, hey, what's really good to buy, great to buy type of idea. It's more of a buyer's guide in that situation. Hiromi will be joining me. Hopefully it doesn't take 4 hours like it did last year, but it probably will. If you want to see two people slowly lose their sanity, you can go to last year's Tiermaker as well. Now, I have plenty of the old cast joining me from last year and a few new ones. If you haven't seen the announcement video, once again, I'll add it here and in the description down below. This year, we do have a change-up that has been requested in a few different talks so far, and that niche is actually going to be moved below playable. So we're doing this because we want to highlight these ships are situationally better, but not overall better. They might actually be worse sometimes than the playable things. This could cause some confusion. I've kind of realized that, but I think that it makes more sense once you really kind of put your head on, okay, this is a niche ship. Even though it's tricked, it might just make it situationally better than the playable one, but it doesn't necessarily make it better than that playable one. So I think that moving niche below playable, it makes sense, but just understand that that is changing, so that might change up a few rankings on how they look. But this is why I'm doing this video, to explain the change, so it's not just a shock when all of a sudden you see the new Tiermaker and that's changed. So other than that, happy Tiermaker season, everyone. This will probably last about a month, month and a half, and also from the poll that I recently put up, I will be clipping apart the videos in order to make them a little bit digestible in shorter snippets there for those who are concerned about effort. Thank you for the concern, but this year's Tiermaker is an ounce of the effort from last year's because I don't have to do the icons. Now I've got everything already set up. Now it's just updating them and going back through from all the changes this year. It's a lot easier, so thank you for your concern, but it's going to be a little bit easier. We are going to be starting off with DDs, then battleships, and depending on when I can get everyone on, because you know how schedules are, cruisers, and then tier 10 overall. Yeah, schedules are fun getting everyone around, especially when you have to deal with time zones. So yeah, just understand that there may be delays depending on when it is, and understand that clipping apart and time stamping a video that is 2 hours long takes a little bit of time, and you know, sometimes it's just, hey, I want to stream or I want to do something else, you know, and it's summer, so I gotta enjoy that as well. But at the same time, once again, don't worry about it. Thank you for the concern, but this is fun. I love Tiermaker season, and it is an absolute blast. Finally, before we actually go, make sure to join in on the Wednesday streams, as I will be adding in a new feature from tiermaker.com, which is live tier makers. And we'll be having some giveaways every stream. Thank you to Wargaming to providing these live tier makers. Will be with a link in the video description, and also I'll make sure that it pops up in the chat as well, where you're going to be able to put in your own tier maker, and then I'm going to be able to see the aggregate of that data on stream, so we actually can see that without everyone trying to talk over everyone. We can just kind of see, hey, what does chat think? What does Discord think? Everyone just goes in and puts the ship where they want to, and then I'll be able to see exactly how the community tier makes this particular tier maker for that live stream. So I think this is gonna be an absolute awesome, brings a lot more of a community aspect to it, so I thought I'd do it during streams. And for those who are across the ocean on the other side, I will be trying to do a lot more EU streams this coming month on Fridays specifically, so that basically you guys can also put your own tier maker in, so that you guys can show what's the difference between EU and NA and how the communities each rank those ships, so that then we can do some videos comparing the two. What's the difference between NA and EU? Is there really a big difference on certain ships? I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. For those over on the Asia server, these tier makers are free to use. So if you want to get a bunch of people together on a Discord or particularly anything like that, and set up a time where a lot more of the community can join in that, you know, are over on that time zone. For me, just those time zones are either it's super early in the morning or super late at night and such. Typically, I'm not able to do that. So these are free to use, and if you need any help, let me know. I can provide assets, everything, and then I also provide all the assets on the Discord as well, which the link is in the link tree down below. Lastly, actually, I think I said this twice, actually. Well, true. Lastly, this is meant to be fun. Okay, hot takes will be insane and all over the place. Let's have fun doing this and keep things civil, okay? I know there's going to be some people who say certain things and you're going to be like, oh my god, I cannot believe that. But please be civil and be nice to other people. Everyone has the right to say whatever they want, even if that's wrong. But, alright, tomorrow starts off Tiermaker month with Red Gaming Dino and Steve from Rage joining me with the Tier 10 DD Tiermaker. Hopefully you all enjoy this month, and if you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see whenever a new Tiermaker video goes up. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.